Welcome, learners, to another deep dive.
Great to be diving in.
Today we're plunging into an ancient Persian epic. It's brimming with wonder, mystery, and a really surprising twist of fate.
We're talking King Jamshid.
Exactly. A name that just screams golden age, right? Incredible innovations, too.
But also a downfall that's, well, debated across centuries. It's quite the story.
Indeed. Jamshid is, I think, one of the most fascinating and complex figures in world mythology.
Definitely. And our sources today, they're quite diverse. We've got Ferdowsi's massive Shahnameh, of course.
The cornerstone.
Right. But also older Avestan texts, Pahlavi writings, and even modern scholarly analysis.
So multiple lenses to look through.
Exactly. Sometimes they agree, sometimes they really don't.
So our mission today is to pull out the key bits of knowledge from all these accounts.
Try to understand not just what happened, but maybe why there are so many different takes on his story.
And see how this ancient tale still kind of resonates,
Yeah.
with universal human stuff.
We're going to uncover a king who achieved miracles, really. Brought peace, prosperity.
And then, for reasons people still argue about, lost it all.
Get ready for some serious aha moments, I think.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our journey starts with Jamshid's incredible rise.
You have to understand the heights before the fall makes sense.
The sources paint him as this legendary king, son of Tahmuras. His reign. It lasted a mythical amount of time, right?
Yeah, depending on who you read, it's 700, sometimes even 1,000 years. Clearly symbolic.
So what made him so revered? What set the stage for this golden age?
Well, first off, his name is fascinating, Jamshid. It means something like twin of light or shining.
Ah, so it hints at his nature.
Exactly. It suggests this inherent brilliance. And more importantly, he's often said to possess Farreh Izadi.
Divine glory. Or radiance.
Precisely. It's this crucial concept in Persian kingship. It wasn't just an idea, it was almost tangible, like a divine light that showed he was the legitimate ruler.
So it linked him directly to, well, higher powers?
Right. It made him legitimate, beloved. It was the sign of rightful rule. Lose the pharaoh, lose the kingdom.
Okay, so he starts off with this divine backing. And his list of accomplishments. Wow. It reads like a blueprint for civilization itself.
It really does. It's astonishing what he's credited with.
Imagine this, He developed weaponry and armor, shields, helmets, chainmail.
So, providing security, protection for his people, that's fundamental.
Then, teaching the creation of clothing, silk, linen, moving beyond basic skins.
Bringing comfort, style, maybe even a sense of dignity.
And he set up a clear social order.
Yes, dividing society, priests, warriors, farmers, artisans, everyone had a place, a purpose. It suggests, harmony and structure.
He also pioneered construction, didn't he?
Big time. Taught the use of bricks, stone, plaster, building palaces, public baths, proper homes.
Protection from the elements, communal spaces.
Yeah.
A huge step up in living standards.
Absolutely. And then there's the discovery of extracting gems and precious metals.
Rubies, jade, gold, silver, adding beauty and wealth.
And perfumes. Musk, camphor, rosewater, adding sensory pleasure to life.
It's not just survival anymore, it's refinement.
Exactly. And perhaps most incredibly, he advanced medicine.
To the point where he banished illness, old age, even death. For a time.
For the first 300 years, according to some accounts, an era of absolute well-being. It's the ultimate golden age fantasy.
And finally, shipbuilding and sea travel.
Connecting distant lands, opening up trade, cultural exchange, literally expanding the known world.
This period, as depicted in the Shahnameh and other texts, it just sounds like perfection.
Yeah.
A world free from pain, suffering, scarcity.
Truly a golden age. And it's during this time, they say, that the festival of Nowruz originated.
Right, the Persian New Year. Tell us about that connection.
The story goes that Jamshid first ascended his amazing jewel-studded throne, a flying throne no less, carried by divas.
Wow.
On the first day of Farvardin. That's the spring equinox. People were just stunned.
By the spectacle, by his glory.
Both. And maybe relief, because some stories link this to the end of a harsh mythical winter or ice age. So they showered him with jewels and called it New Day, Nowruz.
A moment of triumph, renewal. Makes sense for a New Year celebration.
It's a powerful origin story, tying the celebration of spring and renewal directly to Jamshid's peak.
So, this paints a picture of a perfect ruler, almost divine, bringing this incredible era.
You can see why he's such a monumental figure.
Which leads to the inevitable question. After all this glory, all this perfection, what could possibly go wrong?
Yes, the fall.
The golden age, this perfect vision, it just couldn't last. The sources tell us Jamshid lost his Farreh,
That divine grace we talked about.
and his reign just crumbled. But why? This is where it gets really interesting, right? Because the sources don't agree.
Not at all. They diverge significantly, but the loss of Farreh, that's the key event.
And it wasn't just like losing an election, was it? It was much deeper.
Oh, absolutely critical. It wasn't just losing political power. It was losing divine favor, legitimacy, that spiritual connection. It was a sign of abandonment.
Once a king lost their Farreh, their right to rule was basically gone.
Effectively revoked, yes. And chaos would inevitably follow. It implied some kind of major transgression had occurred.
Okay, so the most widely known account, this is mostly from the Shahnameh, right?
Yeah.
And later Islamic sources?
Correct. That's the version most people encounter.
And it blames Jamshid's own pride, immense pride.
Hubris, exactly. He became arrogant, started seeing himself as the sole source of all the good things happening.
And he even dared to claim divinity.
That's the crux of it in this version. He apparently gathered his elders and essentially declared, hey, I have the divine glory. I'm the king. I'm the high priest. Mobad.
A Mobad being.
The Zoroastrian high priest. So he's claiming both supreme worldly and religious authority.
The world is mine. All good things come from me. Who else could be king?
Wow. Yeah. It's presented as this ultimate act of ingratitude, of forgetting his place, challenging the divine order.
And that caused the Farreh to leave him.
According to that narrative, yes. His legitimacy vanished because he broke that sacred bond. It's a classic tale of pride before a fall.
But it's not the only story. Some older texts, Avestan and Pahlavi ones, they offer a different reason.
They do, and it's quite a different perspective. They suggest his sin wasn't claiming divinity.
What was it then?
It was teaching humans to eat meat.
Eating meat. How is that a sin comparable to claiming to be God?
Well, it likely reflects specific theological developments within early Zoroastrianism. The prophet Zardasht, or Zoroaster, really emphasized agriculture, respect for animals, and spoke out against blood sacrifices.
Ah, so in that context.
In that context, teaching humans to kill and consume animals could be seen as a major transgression against this new, evolving ethical framework that valued life and farming.
So was his crime a moral failing in their eyes, or more like a reflection of changing religious views, old ways becoming sinful?
That's a great question. It could be both. It definitely shows how definitions of sin can change with religious evolution. It wasn't necessarily hubris, but a violation of a different sacred principle.
Fascinating. Okay, so we have pride and we have teaching meat eating. But wait, there's another twist, right?
Yeah.
The Shahnameh.
Ah, yes, the Shahnameh. This text throws a real curveball.
How so?
It presents a completely contradictory narrative. In the Shahnameh, Jamshid is depicted as devout, pious, worshiping God his whole life. He commits no sin.
No sin at all. So why does he fall?
His downfall is put down to, well, unfortunate destiny, or just the heavens turning against him, forces beyond his control.
So fate, basically, not his fault.
Pretty much. He's even credited in this version with preserving ancient prophetic writings. It's a total rehabilitation of his character.
What does that tell us? Why such a different story?
It shows how incredibly adaptable myths are, how they can be reinterpreted over time to fit different cultural values, maybe political needs or philosophical ideas.
Maybe they wanted to keep this legendary founder figure pure.
Could be. Or perhaps it reflects a more fatalistic view of the world. It really highlights how narratives evolve and serve different purposes. Jamshid becomes a pawn of fate rather than an agent of his own destruction.
So pride, meat, or just bad luck, whatever the reason for Jamshid's fall.
It left a huge power vacuum.
And that vacuum opened the door for someone truly terrifying. Zahak.
One of Persian mythology's great villains. If Jamshid represents the Golden Age, Zahak represents the absolute opposite.
How is he described? In the Avesta, he's Azidahaka.
Yes, Azidahaka, often depicted literally as a three-snouted dragon or a serpent, a primal embodiment of evil.
And his name Zahak means something like devourer.
One who devours much, or greedy. It perfectly signals his nature. He's linked directly to Ahriman.
The ultimate spirit of evil in Zoroastrianism.
Exactly. The destructive force opposing the good creator, Ahura Mazda. Zahak is essentially Ahriman's chosen instrument on Earth.
And his origin story is just chilling. He starts as a prince.
Yes, son of a good king, Mardas. But Ahriman sees an opportunity to corrupt him.
How does he do it?
It's insidious. First, Ahriman persuades Zahak to kill his own father to seize the throne.
Patricide. A dark start.
Then Ahriman disguises himself as this amazing cook, gains Zahak's trust by feeding him these incredible, rich dishes he's never tasted, playing on his desires.
Lulling him with indulgence.
Precisely. Then, as a supposed reward, Ahriman asks just for a small favor to kiss Zahak's shoulders.
Seems innocent enough, but clearly is.
Not at all. The moment Ahriman kisses his shoulders, two horrifying black snakes erupt from them.
What? Snakes growing out of him?
Yes. And they can't be removed. They become this constant physical manifestation of his evil, his greed, his cruelty, literally part of him.
That's a powerful image. And there was a cure, right? Even more horrific.
Tragically, yes. Ahriman, now disguised as a physician, tells Zahak the only way to soothe the snakes, to stop their pain, is to feed them.
Feed them what?
The brains of young men.
Oh.
Yes. And this leads to his 1,000-year reign of terror. Every single day, 2 youths from the kingdom were sacrificed, their brains fed to these shoulder serpents.
1,000 years of that. It's unthinkable.
It's a devastating metaphor for tyranny, isn't it? Literally consuming the future, the next generation, just to sustain its own monstrous existence.
So Zahak quickly overthrows the weakened Jamshid.
Takes his throne, enslaves his daughters, and plunges Iran into this millennium of darkness, a complete reversal of Jamshid's golden age, the ultimate nightmare.
A truly disturbing villain. Okay, so stepping back, what does this whole epic story, Jamshid's rise and fall, Zahak's tyranny, what does it mean for us today?
Well, the story of Jamshid isn't unique in its themes. It echoes in myths across the world.
You mean figures who bring gifts to humanity but then fall?
Exactly. Powerful benefactors whose actions, or maybe fate, lead to their downfall. A really fascinating parallel is with the Greek myth of Prometheus.
Prometheus,
Right.
the one who gave fire to humans.
That's him. If you look closely, the conceptual similarities are striking. Both Jamshid and Prometheus are these archetypal, civilizing heroes.
They bring knowledge, skills, comfort, lifting humanity up.
Right. Jamshid brings weapons, clothing, social order, medicine, the whole package we discuss.
And Prometheus, he brings fire, obviously, but also teaches crafts, arts, building, farming, taming animals, even language and writing in some versions.
Both are fundamentally benefactors of mankind. They elevate the human condition dramatically.
But then, their paths take a similar turn, right? Towards defying authority.
They do. Both figures defy a higher divine power. Jamshid, in the main story, through his hubris, claiming divinity.
Forgetting his place.
Exactly. Prometheus, on the other hand, defies Zeus more, altruistically. He steals fire for humans against Zeus's direct command out of compassion.
So one defiance is self-centered pride, the other is defiance for others.
That seems to be a key difference in motivation, yes. But crucially, both challenge the established divine order, and both suffer severe consequences.
Right. Jamshid ends up wandering, losing everything, killed by Zahak.
And Prometheus is chained to a rock on Mount Caucasus for eternity, his liver eaten daily by an eagle only to regenerate. Unending torment.
So both are effectively stripped of their power, imprisoned or killed, and suffer greatly.
Their punishments are profoundly symbolic. Jamshid's fall signifies the loss of divinely sanctioned rule, the fragility of power cut off from its source.
And Prometheus's punishment.
It represents this ongoing cost of defiance, perhaps the burden of knowledge or power given too soon, the gods reasserting control with extreme prejudice.
What really stands out to you about these parallels? What deep human truth are these myths tapping into? About power, maybe responsibility?
Well, when you look at them together, they really reflect ancient anxieties about the relationship between the divine and the human. The struggle between good and evil is there, of course.
And the tension between human ambition and divine limits.
Absolutely, and that cyclical nature of rise and fall, often linked to pride, or sometimes noble sacrifice gone wrong. They map out this psychological journey, maybe, from an innocent golden age to a more complex world of struggle.
Often triggered by some initial sin or transgression.
Right. They force us to think about that line between progress and overreach. Can our greatest achievements become our downfall if we lack humility or wisdom?
It suggests power, even used for good, comes with immense responsibility. And maybe every golden age contains the seeds of its own end.
That seems to be a recurring message, yes.
Wow. What a deep dive, learners. We've journeyed through Jamshid's incredible rise.
The golden age, the innovations.
Explored the really conflicting stories about his mysterious fall.
Pride, meat, fate. So many angles.
Witnessed the terrifying shadow of Zahak.
The Serpent King, the Devourer.
And uncovered these universal echoes in figures like Prometheus.
Showing these themes resonate across cultures.
It really reminds us that these ancient stories, they offer profound insights into, well, us. Human nature, power dynamics.
That delicate balance between ambition and humility.
You mentioned earlier a, quote, comparing Jamshid to Adam.
Ah, yes. The idea that Jamshid was created immortal but lost his immortality, much like Adam lost paradise. It highlights that universal theme of a perfect state lost due to a transgression, a fatal flaw.
It really underscores the fragility, doesn't it? Even the greatest achievements can be undone. That eternal cycle of hubris and consequence.
It's woven deep into these narratives.
So it leaves us, you, the listener, to ponder. What does this tell us about our own modern pursuits? Our own striving for perfection, the limits of power today?
And maybe the timeless wisdom of just humility.
Something to think about. We hope this encourages you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep digging deeper into the fascinating world around you.